Welcome to Unit 3, Lesson 9. So as usual, looking for the tasks for U3L9. You can find it either under assignments or in the weekly calendar by today's date. Today is the 8th of December. We'll start off again with a little breakout room chat. Posting the question right now. Question for today is, what's your favorite family tradition? And this could be wide open to anything. It could be a trip that you take every year. It could be something that you do for a holiday like Christmas or New Year's or Halloween. It could just be a meal that you have. It could be an anniversary celebration or a birthday thing that you do every year. I don't care. Whatever comes to mind. Maybe you celebrate your pets in a weird way or something. But whatever you want to share. So think about that for half a minute or so. And don't forget to say hi and check in with the person you're in there with too. We'll come back together in 2 minutes. Rooms are open. Next on the docket is homework check. Again, it was 2 classworks and then the 1 homework assignment. The classworks are looking good. We had that kind of multiple ed puzzle thing that you worked through. I'm seeing 13 attempts on that. So just make sure you have tackled that and just remember to type done. But that's looking good. We also had the other classwork where you were doing the math along with me as I was presenting the slides. Again, I'm only seeing 10 attempts on that. So please do come back to this and give it a try. It's just good practice for this math stuff we're doing. And then you had to do a little bit more. Again, it was another ed puzzle and some more practice math, seeing 12 attempts on that. It was short, so please definitely give this a try. The key takeaway was this graph right here as part of the reading, which again, if you are comfortable with math at all, this is a classic example of an inverse relationship, right? This curve is showing you that as one variable increases, the other one decreases. And this is what Boyle discovered about pressure and volume. So we're going to review this today, and we're going to continue with math stuff. So bear with me. I know it's not the most fun stuff in the world. But again, the ed puzzle also is looking good. If you weren't able to do that, give it a go. And I think there is the alternative of just watching the video online. Any questions or comments on that homework? All right, let's see how we're feeling. Play a little Kahoot that I've got based on the gas properties in Boyle's law. I think it's just about 8 questions. Optimize the screen here. All right, definitely should have preloaded this beforehand. Let's play classic. All right. I feel like these game codes get longer and longer. So the game pin is 3862276. I remember back when they were just 4 digits. Again, yeah, please do use your name or something close to it so we can tell who everybody is. Awesome, we are all here. Let's do this. Gases are blank, meaning their volume can be decreased under pressure. Very good, 100%. Everyone got that. That is compressible. Danielle in the lead. Kilopascals, atmospheres, and millimeters of mercury are all units of what? All right, interesting. We're a little torn on this one. Kilopascals, millimeters, mercury, and atmospheres are all measurements of pressure. Very good, not volume. Volume is always liters or milliliters. All right, Danielle still in the lead. Increasing the kinetic energy of gas particles, making them move faster, means you what? Very good. Most of you got that you increased the temperature. Pressure would be influenced, however, increasing kinetic energy, as we will see with the gas laws, if you make particles move faster, that actually increases the pressure, doesn't decrease the pressure. Increase in temperature increases the pressure as well. All right, Sophia pulling ahead. Here we go. True or false? If you increase the pressure on a gas, its volume will also increase. All right, very good. That is false. If you increase the pressure on a gas, its volume will actually decrease. That is Boyle's law. They have an inverse relationship. That was the halfway point. All right, Sophia's still in the lead. Here we go. Which law states that a constant temperature, gas pressure is inversely proportional to gas volume? I just mentioned this. Very good. Looks like most of you understand that that is Boyle's law, which is the one law we've been focusing on so far. Oops, sorry. Looks like Sophia's still in the lead. Bob Gardner's air balloon was small when he left the ground, but really big at 39,000 feet. Why? Why did Bob Gardner's balloon get bigger as he rose higher? Very good. Most of you got that it was due to decreased atmospheric pressure, increased the balloon volume. Again, it's a classic example of Boyle's law, that there was less atmospheric pressure at higher elevation, and therefore, even though the same amount of gas was in the balloon, it had a larger volume because there's less pressure acting on it. All right, Sophia's still in the lead. Here we go. Second to last question, true, false. In the equation P1V1 equals P2V2, P1 and V1 can be any unit as long as they match. Very good, that is true, right? You just need to make sure your units are the same for the initial and final. Otherwise, it could be atmospheres, kilopascals, whatever. All right, this is the last question. Here we go. This is going to be a bit of a challenging one. Gas pressure and gas volume are inversely proportional. If you double the pressure on a gas, then what will happen? Double the pressure. Very good. Wow. All right. Most of you got that the volume will be reduced by half, right? It's the exact opposite. So if you think about it, doubling is times 2, then the inverse of that would be divided by 2. Nicely done, Sophia, Noah, and Lena. All right, everyone. every question was answered correctly by most players. It's always a good thing to see. All right, any questions or comments on that, Kahoot? Good job. All right, again, as I said, our goal today is just continuing to review the gas laws. The best way to do this is to just sort of review them and give you a chance to practice with the math. The way I'm going to approach it today is just using edpuzzles, once again, kind of short little snippets, and we'll break it up with some other little interesting videos. And so if you're looking at the tasks to complete list, you should see that I've got a series of basically 3 rounds of sort of edpuzzles, and then some other little additional videos that I'll share with you as a group. But I've got one that I put together on Boyle's Law, one on Charles' Law, and one of Gay-Lussac's Law. So you'll see how to do the math, and then you'll have a chance to practice the math, and they'll get shorter as we go through. So I'm going to go ahead and time for 10 minutes to let you work on the Boyle's Law edpuzzle. If you get through that and you want to move on to the next one, I'm okay with that. Just be ready for me to interrupt at some point, just to show you a short video, and then I'll let you continue to work on the edpuzzles. But 10 minutes to work on that very first one, Boyle's Law edpuzzle. It's just about 7 minutes long, and there's 3 questions associated with it. Again, you can use a calculator and anything else that you need for the math stuff. And I'll kind of keep track of how everyone's doing through edpuzzle as well, and then we'll come back together to kind of share a little reading. I'll be here listening if you have questions or if you can't figure out what to do. Otherwise, go for it. Boyle's Law edpuzzle. But this is what makes breathing possible, is that does anyone know the really big muscle that's below your rib cage and at the base of your lungs that allows you to breathe? Anyone know the name of it? A little biology side lesson here. It's called your diaphragm, which I'm sure some of you have heard about. It's a huge muscle that actually splits your chest in 2. But what it does is it contracts and it actually forces your lungs to become bigger. It expands them. So everyone take a deep breath right now. Your diaphragm is expanding your lungs. And what that did was increase the volume. By increasing the volume of your lungs, it decreased the pressure. And so air from the atmosphere goes rushing in through your nose and mouth to fill your lungs. And then when you breathe out, your diaphragm relaxes, the lungs contract, they shrink back, the volume decreases, which increases the pressure and forces the air out. So that makes breathing possible. This is why gunshot wounds are particularly dangerous, because if you puncture a lung, if you puncture your chest cavity in any way, you lose that pressure difference, right? So that's what causes a collapsed lung, is that the lung can't inflate anymore. Your diaphragm can't expand them. And that's why, again, you can suffocate from a collapsed lung. And the way to treat it is to just seal the hole and reinflate the lung. But anyway, if you take my anatomy and physiology course, we do a whole thing on that. So questions or comments on Boyle's Law? All right, what's next? We're going to move on from Boyle's Law to who? If you're looking at the tasks to complete list, what's after Boyle?
Charles's Law.
Let's move on to Charles's Law. So I'm going to time for 10 minutes once again for you to work through the edpuzzle. If you still need to finish up the Boyle edpuzzle, I recommend doing that. So just continue and finish the current edpuzzle you're working on. Then you can move on to Charles's Law. If you're already done, move on to Charles' Law. Again, we'll check back in 10 minutes. Let me know if you need help or have questions.